I keep seeing this trend of people saying like the worst day in their life at their school. Let me give you a worst day in my life at the Jersey Shore. You wake up, it's raining and it's Monday. No, I woke up to a sunny day on a Sunday in Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Woke up on someone's lawn, covered in dirt. I was wearing white pants. I woke up with no shoes and no phone. I woke up still drunk, thinking that I was in Avalon, New Jersey, not Sea Isle. So I am walking the streets of Sea Isle. I'm on like 40th in Sea Isle, walking the streets, thinking I'm in Avalon. Like, shit, I gotta walk like 20 blocks. No, babes. No, babes, you gotta walk miles. So I'm walking around. This mom pulls up in her SUV. She's on her way to do yoga in Stone Harbor. And she sees a drunk fuck like me walking the streets looking like a hooligan. So she pulls up and she's like, sweetie, are you okay? I look at her and I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, I'm just trying to find my house, like 22nd in Avalon. She looks at me and she goes, babes, you're in Sea Isle. And at this point, I'm like, oh shit. I have no phone to call an Uber. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, why don't you get in my car? I'll take you. Like, I'm going over that way anyways. I'm like, perfect. Get in her car, get dropped off at the house. I walk in thinking I'm smooth criminal out here. I'm like, let's chop this up. No, my mom is sitting on the kitchen counter. My dad, the good Samaritan he is, he was already at church. So luckily he wasn't there. My mom looks at me and goes, where the fuck were you? I go, where the fuck was I? I go, oh, I was at my friend Ash's in Strathmere. She goes, no, the fuck you weren't. She goes, Ash is in your bedroom right now. She opens up my door. Ash was staying with me. She opens up. Ash peeps her head up. Yeah. I didn't know what to say at that point. I just kind of looked at her and I crawled into bed and I shut the door. And that was it. My uncle proceeded to come over as my mom is mid-screaming at me. He decides to come over and looks at me and goes, do you want to get a workout in? I look at him and I go, pal, I am MC hammered right now. No, I don't want to get a workout in.
Story time, chat, because I need y'all opinion. Because I can see how I'm wrong, but at the same time, it's just like, So boom, my brother has a girlfriend, right? And when they first started talking, every time they would get into it, my brother would come rant to me and my mom about like how he just like the shit that she does and how it's just weird. And he would ask our opinion. And of course, we'll agree with him, right? Mind you, I have never met the girl. At this time, when he was telling me all this stuff, I have never met his girlfriend yet. Anyways, this happened on like this happened very often. Like he would come and rant to us about her very often, right? So boom, one time they got into it so bad. And she came to our house and she was like outside screaming, demanding everything that she bought back, like that she bought from my brother. She wanted it back. She like took a shot glass and she slammed it on the ground. Like y'all, she was just absolutely doing too much, right? Call it what you want. I'm not sure what you're used to, but that shit is ghetto. And not to mention, we live in a really nice neighborhood and y'all, my mom do not play that shit. Like when it comes to like keeping up with her house and like decorum, y'all, she does not play that shit. So not only when this incident happened, not only did my mom frown upon her, I frowned upon her too because like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's very disrespectful. Mind you, we have never met this girl at the time. So for you to disrespect not only my mom's house and and all type of stuff, I really don't like you. Like my brother was already feeding me stuff. Now I just seen the way you acted. Now I really don't like you. Anyways, y'all, the only way she would leave is if my brother gave her the stuff that she bought back. So my brother gave it to her, right? Anyway, so my brother gives her the stuff and he comes to me and he's explaining to me about what happened and stuff, right? Like how they got into the argument. Anyways, y'all, when my brother was explaining to me, he mentioned how she started talking about me. Y'all, my brother was telling me how she said that I don't go to school because, y'all, at the time I was taking a gap semester. He was telling me how she said I don't go to school, I don't keep my hair done, I don't dress or something like that. Y'all, when people say stuff like that about me, I really don't care because it's true because I'm not like really materialistic. Like, you know, if I get my hair done, I get my hair done. If I can dress, I can dress. I cannot dress. But you know what I'm saying? I really don't care about stuff like that. It's just like, you know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. But I digress. But y'all, I was like, felt some type of way about it because I'm like, I don't even know this girl. I've never even met this girl. So what she say fuck me for? Like, I have never even met you. So now I really don't like you. Like, now I really don't like you. Anyways, y'all, they ended up getting back together, y'all. They swear to God they was done. They swear that she did all of that, and they swear to God they was done. And they ended up getting back together. So after all of this, every time he would bring her up, I would just say, I ain't gonna lie, I would say some weird shit. Yes, y'all, like, I would say something about her. I'm not gonna lie to you because, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being petty. But yes, y'all, I would talk shit about her. I'm not gonna lie. I'm admitting to this right now. I would talk shit about her, right? Anyways, y'all, fast forward to this situation. Months and months go by, right? And I'm over the shit. I'm like, he said this. I've never even, and I still to this day have never really met her. So like, I just didn't give a damn. Like, if I haven't met her, then I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's not something as serious. That's what I was thinking. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, months go by and I'm really over the situation. Like, I don't care that you said I was retarded and can't dress. Like, I don't care about that no more, right? And y'all, my brother finally starts bringing her around. So like, whenever I'm home, but like I said before, I've never like been formally introduced to her, right? But he would start bringing her around and like, I would say my hi here and there. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. We left it at that. Anyways, one time I was out and about in my house. I was like sitting on the stairs and she asked me if I wanted to come to a party. She was having a little girls' miss or Galentine's. She was having something like that and she invited me to it. And I was confused because like, girl, like, you know what I'm saying? And y'all, she was my brother's girlfriend and I never addressed it because if that's who you like, that's who you like, you know what I'm saying? And I was willing to get over that. Anyways, like I said, I was really confused that she invited me to the Galentine's or whatever it was. I don't even remember. Galentine's or girls' miss, something like that. She invited me to that and I said yes to go, but I was really skeptical because I was like whenever she left, I confronted my brother and I was like, I thought she didn't like me. And I don't know, he just convinced me like that everything was fine, like, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to go to the girls' miss or the whatever the fuck. I decided to go to the event, right, y'all? The event ended up being really fun and da-da-da-da. Like I said, the event was fun, and after we started hanging out, and she would begin to tell me, like, about her relationship problems with my brother. Red flag, by the way. She would start telling me about, like, stuff that would be going on in her relationship. And, y'all, we began talking about the situation I just told y'all about, right? And she was telling me a whole different perspective than what my brother was telling her, right? So now I'm like, oh, it seemed like my brother is the problem, right? Anyways, y'all, after she told me all of that, I said, there's no fucking way. We talked about the situation and I realized, and I think we both realized it was just a big misunderstanding between both of us, right? Y'all, with that being said, we begin to hang out like all the time. Like we started hanging out all the time and also her roommate. So all three of us, trio, red flag. We always hung out, right? Anyways, the trio was a thing for a little second, but we ended up stopped hanging out and I fell out with them because something else, like y'all, a different story, another story time. Anyways, me personally, I had no hard feelings towards my brother's girlfriend, like, at all. And you can ask him, because I told him that, right? Anyways, I had no hard feelings towards this girl. Like, I put this is not my right hand on the Bible, though. I had no hard feelings. Anyways, y'all, fast forward to right now. Y'all, also, I want to make it clear, when she falls out with somebody, she does the most. Like, you know what I'm saying? She unfollowed me on Instagram. She, unshared her location with me. I did none of that to her. Like, I did none of that to her. So now, I'm thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was a cordial falling out. Like, I did what I needed to do on my end, and she did but it came with the unfollowing, the da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Once again, still no hard feelings because you're my brother's girlfriend. And once again, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when we was hanging out, like, I just started looking at her like my little sister. Like, we would get into, like, petty arguments, and I couldn't even be mad at her because, like I said, I looked at her like a sister. Like, I'm not, like, all jokes aside, really. Anyways, fast forward to right now, y'all. I guess she went through my brother's phone, and she went through our family group chat, and she went through me and my brother's messages, and she found messages in the family group chat. Y'all, this girl blew up my phone. She was calling me all type of snake, conniving bitches, this, that. I can't fuck with her. Y'all, mind y'all, I haven't talked to this girl in a really long time. Anyway, she sent me messages of me talking shit about her, right? And I believe in one of the messages, I was like, I don't like her. Yes, y'all, she just sent me a bunch of screenshots of me, like, talking shit about her. Anyways, y'all, she sent those messages, and I want to make it clear, like, y'all, I'll probably post the messages. She sent me those messages and said, how do you not like me and you didn't even know me? So right then and there, I felt like all the confusion was debunked. Anyways, although I thought it would be debunked because I didn't know you. I said that stuff when I didn't know you. Like, I want to make that so clear. I said that when I didn't know you. Anyway, she's still entitled to feel how she feels. So y'all, I apologized to her and I said, I understand how you could think that's weird, but I did say those things, but it was before I met you. Like, after that, I defended you ever since, and I never like talk shit about you again because I got to understand and I got to know you, right? Y'all, why did this girl get to just, I don't give a fuck about your apology, you can't fuck with me? And here's my thing. You can feel how you want to feel, but y'all, why did she just start comparing our lives? She said, I want to be a doctor. She doesn't want to be a doctor, y'all. She wants to be a vet. I guess that's a doctor. I don't know. She said, I want to be a doctor. You want to be a military wife. All you want to do is lay up under your man. You're this. You can't fuck with me. She called me Miss Glitter. She called me Miss Glitter Sparkles. Like, y'all, why is this just now coming out? That's my thing. My thing is, if you're saying all of this right now, this is all shit you've been wanting to say when we were supposedly friends. You know what I'm saying? So I'm questioning, how can you call me conniving when that's something you've been wanting to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just can't understand how, like, as soon as you fall out with somebody, they get to saying weird shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or they get to comparing lives. I've never done that. Like, no matter how bad I felt falling out with somebody, I've never compared my life to that. Like, she would say, I can get it like that. You have to do this. You have to do that. All you want to do is be with your man. Like, but it wasn't that when you were asking me for relationship advice and all this other shit, right? But once again, she can feel how she want to feel, and I apologize, and I'm not saying she has to accept my apology, but to go back and talk about stuff that, to bring up stuff that happened when we were friends, y'all, is that not weird? Like, is that not weird? Like, I understand, like, y'all, I understand how I'm wrong on my end, I really do, but like, y'all, who is really the conniving bitch? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, please help me understand. Please help me understand.
So on May 31st, Chenier went to a graduation party with my niece and her mom. Before Chenier left the house, I told her no TikTok videos, no pictures with nobody or nothing because of her status. And I know how just in general, like what sounds going on right now, I really never liked her like singing like provocative songs because it's just not cute for a little girl. So June 1st at like 12:44 a.m. when they got home, I got a text to my phone, a video of her and my niece twerking. I'm talking hidden splits, middle fingers, shaking butt, throwing butt in a circle. And that was like a slap in the face because I told you not to go do this. For one, we don't know the people that you're with and you don't know what could have happened there. Like, of course, I'm not going to put her in a situation where she goes somewhere with somebody where something like that could happen. But honestly, you never know. And I had already gave her rules before she went. And at my house, there are rules. There are rules that you have to follow and you have to be a child at my house. Point blank, period. So when they got here, whatever, they did get disciplined. I did pop both of them a couple times. Kenzie's went shorter because my niece has like a health problem, and the health problem ended up coming out. So I ended up talking to them instead. And as we're talking, you know, they vent or whatever. Yeah. And the real punishment, they just did wall sits. I literally have the picture of them doing wall sits. That's not even my problem. So after I disciplined or whatever, my niece mama had already told me to like spank her. And then I called Shanier's mom and she was like, oh, well, I see it as just having fun. And I'm like, well, I don't think so because that's creating a follower. Just because you've seen other people do stuff, you shouldn't do it. So for that over here, she got in trouble. Cool, right? Mind you, this is days before Shanier's graduation and days before they're finna go on a cruise. Same cruise that her mom told me, hey, just making sure that you're still going to get Chenier clothes for the cruise because I'm headed out to the store now. If you were going to get the clothes, when you headed out to the store, you would have got the clothes. So on Chenier last day, I think like 2 days after graduation, I took her to get the clothes or whatever. No problem. So her graduation day come. We sitting there, we giggling, whatever. I didn't sit by Shanier's mom. It was Chenier mom, my niece, me, my friend Jayla, and my mom. So as I'm talking to my friend, I do hear Shanier's mom whispering to Kenzie, like, you got a whooping too. I don't know why Kenzie lied and said, no, she didn't. But yes, she did. I didn't say nothing, but I whispered to my friend, I'm like, Chenier mama just asked Kenzie, did they get a whooping? Like, that's weird. I'm sitting right here. Graduation over, everything cool, everything giggles. Chenier mom, like, you taking her with you because I got to go to work. Yes. Now, my problem with that is, you know, you felt the type of way that she got disciplined from the twerking situation, but you still let me do everything for the graduation. You still let me take her after the graduation, knowing you felt the way deep down inside. So cool. She texted me like later in the week because I still have Chenier. And she was like, Shanier got to be home on Saturday. I would say this is like June 8th because they went on the cruise for the 9th. So Saturday we go shopping. She get the cruise clothes, everything she need. We pack up. I drop her off. Cool, no problems, nothing else. But let me backtrack a little bit. So Shanier wanted to do cheer. I'm a cheerleader. That's what I did my whole life. So if you're gonna cheer, you're gonna go to the best of the best so that your skills are correct from start. So since that's something I'm going to have to pay for, mind y'all, this cheer team was going to be $650 a month, not including travel, not including stay when you go to competitions. And honestly, I always do stuff with her, so I didn't see it as a big deal of, oh, you overstepping or doing too much. Boy, was I wrong. So before Shanier left, I'm like, hey, go ahead and text your mama and see when y'all get back so that I could text my friend so that you can try out for cheer. This is when I knew it was going to be a problem soon. Once she texted her mom texted her back and told her the time. Was like, for what? Shanier told her, like, oh, I'm trying to try out for cheer. Her mama texted her back and said, we gonna have a talk when you get home. I already know what it is with the mama when she get to acting like that. So I told Shanier, like, don't even get your hopes up. This cheer team is probably not gonna happen. Your mama probably finna be tripping. But I still hear nothing. So 2 days before they finna come back from the cruise, her mama sends me a long ass text message. Basically like, oh, you're overstepping. You think you her mama. Disciplining is my job. You don't get to sign her up for stuff and not tell me about it. Cool. If you feel that way about me signing her for something and not telling you about it, I get that. But at the same time, what is there to tell you? You work all day, all the time. You're always at work, so you're not going to be able to take her. I really didn't see a big deal with it because at this point, we're co-parenting the child. So yeah, she like, as of right now, Shanier is staying at home. I don't appreciate you whooping her with a purse strap. That's my job to get on her. She can't do no cheer. I never knew nothing about this. And I'm not cool with you making decisions without me. At the end of the day, Shanier's a child and I'm her mom. I still make decisions for her at all times. Nothing of this stuff I'm happy about. I've been holding stuff in too long and being nice. I will let you know when I feel like she can come back over there. I'm not explaining nothing else to nobody at all. Thanks. First of all, that's rude as fuck. Second of all, as much as I do for this child, when she was sick at school and you refused to leave work, I had to go get her. When it's time for school and she don't feel like herself or she want her hair done or something, I gotta do it. All summer that baby been over there, hair have not been done. Have not looked like herself. And on top of that, on social media, being grown, singing songs about giving head and all that, that's not cute. So I politely texted her back and said, I don't think that's fair to say at all. And I didn't whoop her with a purse strap. I popped her a few times and then gave you a call. I do too much and be there too much to say I won't be able to see her until you say, that's crazy. Then texting me like I mistreat her is crazy. It is. It's crazy as fuck. I do more for her. I did more for her than I did for myself. And that was my first fucking problem. She said, yes, you do, but you do a lot without asking me. You never call me about no cheer or nothing. First of all, Shanier wanted to do it and she had already talked to you. That's another problem with her mama. She always lying like she don't know stuff and she do, because Shanier always come back and tell me like, yeah, I told her this, or she said this, or they said this about you, or I got in trouble for taking up for you. And after a while, I just told her, don't even take up for me no more. Let them say whatever they want. She was like, you making decisions without me. You forgot this, my child. And I know all this was going to come up when I tell you how I feel. That's why I said in the beginning, I didn't want no help from nobody. Mind you, my family been helping with Shanier since she was months old. So I'm confused. Anyways, this one to throw stuff in my face on what they do for her, which is crazy. I never throw anything in her face because it doesn't matter. What I do for her is because I want to do it for her. There's nothing thrown in your face, but you feel like sometimes when you feel like being a mother or you feel like having your child, you want to throw the upper hand and take her. That's not fair, because when I'm doing stuff for her, it's all smiles and giggles. You should have took your child after that graduation instead of still sitting with her with me so you can go to work. That's when you should have took her. Not waited till y'all finna get back from a cruise, then decide, oh yeah, she can't go back. This my motherfucking child. It don't be your child when I'm doing everything. Oh. And honestly, I don't give a fuck how shit go after this, because I'm getting so angry talking about it. Like, that shit was a slap in the face. But I'm getting to the juicy shit. She talking about Shanier telling me what's going on and telling me what I wanted to do shouldn't even be a problem at all because I never said nothing bad about you. Mind you, they have said a shitload of shit bad about me. From I show favoritism or to, Jay not even your real family. I don't understand why you be doing so much behind her, or Jay not even your people. Why you still want to go over there? And that's not talk about the fact of Janiyah. Janiyah has manipulated that baby mind so far. That's another story that I don't even want to fucking get into. Like, that shit is ridiculous. And that's what started the problem. When I said Janiyah can't come back over here, that's when petty shit started happening. And when Janiyah was here, she created so much fucking drama. That shit is ridiculous. And you know what? I'm not holding shit back. I don't care. So at the end, she was like, I'll let you know when she come back. I said, I don't forget nobody, your child. And I don't throw nothing in your face because my relationship is with Shanier. And no, you holding her over my head is crazy. But bet, y'all have a good life. Every time you feel a type of way, you wait around. That's like me texting you about all the stuff she feel and say about you. And the list of shit that she says is crazy. So and matter of fact, Shania is really part of the problem because she run her mama's house and Shania's the type where instead of getting in trouble, she just gonna say whatever. And she go to her mama's house and I'm guessing playing one side and then coming over here playing one side. If I say half of the shit Shania said on this internet, it's fucking disgusting. And anything Shania said about me at her mama house, I could back it up. I'm sure she over there saying, I'm strict, it's mean over here, and she got a schedule. Over here, she have a schedule. Shania was struggling with school a lot. So when y'all seen them after school routines, that wasn't for fake. That was for real. Like, the baby was struggling, so we had to figure it out. Just like that was a problem a long time ago when I was helping her with homework. I yelled at her for something, and the mama got mad, like, oh! Anyways, in the messages, she ended up saying, like, oh, when we get back, we could talk, or Sunday or whatever. Remember that. Baby, Sunday comes, she gives me the run around. I end up getting emotional and calling my mama. That was the problem. So I'm texting like, hey, don't forget, we trying to talk. We got to talk or whatever. She's like, I got work. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. Who? At that point, I cut all that shit off. I'm done. I'm not finna keep playing like that. Like handling me like I wronged you. No, I was a big fucking help. I was a big fucking help. So long story short, her and my mom ended up getting into it. My mom did call her. My mom called her out on her name, told her, hey, we coming to pick up that phone that's on my motherfucking account. We coming to pick up them clothes for that cruise and everything else. Since this the type of games you play, my mom also told her, like, I done asked y'all a bunch of times to stop playing with my motherfucking child and her feelings. Right! Because that's just like she got a mama, I do too. Anyways, so yeah, we went over there, got the phone and stuff. My mama was screaming, yelling. She took the kid. Her and Shania was not at the house when we got there, so I couldn't even see Shania or hear her side. They left Janiyah at the house to handle everything, which was very unfair. But anyways, that's what happened. My mom and her mom got into it, and I've just decided to take myself out of the situation because every 3 months her mom takes the baby when she feel a type of way, and I'm just done. I don't care.
When I tell you this is the scariest story I've ever read, I'm not joking. This story had me not sleeping and streaming a 24/7 stream of Bluey. That's how scared I was. So there's a guy and he's just got into a relationship with a girl that he is completely infatuated with. He says he's had relationships in the past, but there's something about this girl that he's drawn to. The moment he saw her, he fell in love with her. Couple of weeks in, he'd already planned that he was going to marry her. He wanted to be with her all the time, thought about her 24/7, wanted to call her 24/7. He was just obsessed. He said he'd never been a hopeless romantic before with past relationships, but with her, he just wanted her. Just everything about her, he was drawn in. He'd already planned out his proposal, their first date. They went on like a 3-hour hike. They had a cheeky kiss at the top of like the peak, and he knew that's where he was going to propose to her exactly a year to the day. He'd already picked out the ring. He was in love with her. However, there was one thing that he thought was drifting them apart. That was, he needed to close the gap. And that was, she never wanted to stay the night, either at her house or his house. It could be 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. As soon as one of them started drifting off, she'd be like, look, you've got to go. Or she'd go. And it happened too many times. And he thought, there's something that she's hiding from me. After a few months, he finally plucked up the courage to ask her. So while she was at his house, he said, is there a reason why you don't like falling asleep around me? Like, what's the issue? It takes him a bit of time to get the truth out of her, but eventually she admits that she's just started sleep talking and she's a bit embarrassed by it. When he hears sleep talking, he's like, is that it? Like, my siblings used to sleep talk. I used to be in scouts. People used to sleep talk. Like, I'm used to it. She quickly shuts him down and she's like, no, you don't understand. The stuff that I say is horrific. I say really nasty, vile things and I don't want you to hear it. And this is when he admits to her that he's in love with her and there is nothing that she can say or do that would ever make him change his feelings. And this reassures her, and eventually he just says, why don't you stay the night tonight? And if it gets bad, we can talk about it in the morning. It takes like a full bottle of wine to agree, but she's like, look, okay. And by the time it gets to bedtime, she says, look, if it does get bad, please do just go to the couch. She says to him, don't respond to me and please don't wake me up, because when people have woken me up in the past, I get really angry and they say it's not me. And he's like, look, got it, noted. I won't reply to you. I won't wake you up. Because, but you won't even bother me. Trust me, like, don't worry about it. So they both fall asleep, and after a few hours, he gets woken up and he has a feeling that someone's watching him. But then very quickly he remembers, my girlfriend's here, and he gets a warm, fuzzy feeling because he's thinking about a girl that he's madly in love with, and he goes to put his arm over her shoulder, and she's not in bed. Her side of the bed is empty. So he quickly opens his eyes, and that's when he sees her looking down on him. And she says in a voice that he describes as being like really raspy and really aged. She says, "I'll chew the skin off your bones." I'm sorry, what? You'll do what now? I'd be running out of that room so quickly. But my guy just falls asleep. He goes back to sleep, and it's like, she just says some weird stuff. But, you know, she's obviously having a weird dream. He just back off to sleep, and he wakes up again, doesn't know how long's passed. And he says he can feel really hot breath on him, and this breath is rancid. It's like rotten eggs and dead animals, and it's breathing quite quickly in front of his face. And he says it feels like a dog is panting in front of him. And he knows that when he opens his eyes, all he's going to see is his girlfriend. Eventually, something comes over him, and he opens his eyes, and he sees his girlfriend pretty much nose pressed to nose. You better go sleep in the lounge because you'll be dead by morning. I'd be leaving that apartment so fast. But, you know, my guy doesn't even question it. It's like, enough said. He creeps out of bed, he goes to the lounge, and as he's leaving the room, he starts hearing her laugh. Again, it's not her voice. He says it's aged, it's raspy, and he's shit scared. He goes to the couch, and that's where he can hear her saying his name. His name's Stephen. She's going, "Stephen, Stephen, come back. Stephen, I didn't mean to scare you. I told you it was bad, Stephen." But then in between her sentences, she would do this horrible aged laugh. Stephen is basically rocking on this couch because he's thinking, why am I infatuated with this girl that has just said that she's going to kill me? And he's noticing, like, the more that he's replaying this voice in his head that isn't his girlfriend's, the less he's kind of like waking up. And he's like, why am I so in love with her? And he's trying to remember what's different about this girl than his other girlfriends. And he's like, but I don't know what's going on. She's just scaring me. And he's trying to snap himself out of it. And she's still trying to entice him back. She's saying, come back to the bedroom, with this awful cackly laugh in between. And then she's saying, why don't I come to you instead? Now, Stephen said even if he would have heard one footstep, he would have ran out of that apartment so quick. But luckily, she never left. Instead, she starts saying, you're going to walk me up that hill, aren't you, Stephen? You're going to walk me up that hill and you're going to propose to me in exactly a year. I know you're going to do it, and I know you've already picked out the ring. In this weird, raspy voice. That's when he kind of realises that this thing that's speaking out of his girlfriend isn't his girlfriend, because how would she know that he's already planned the proposal? Exactly a year to the day as well. And then he starts to think, has she been possessed? Is something in her? And is he drawn to what's in her rather than his girlfriend? Because he says the way that he feels towards her is infatuation like he's never felt before. He spends the night on the sofa. The next morning, his girlfriend says, how was it? And he says, it was fine. He doesn't know how to tell his girlfriend. What would you do? Has anything like that ever happened to you? What do you think it is? Because that is terrifying. Just the thought of somebody standing over you, I'm going to chew the skin off your bones. I'm sorry, what? You're going to leave. You're going to leave right now where I am.
My boyfriend secretly replaced my Adderall with sugar pills and acted like I was the problem. So, at 25 female, have ADHD, diagnosed officially at 21, but I've basically had it my whole life. My Adderall prescription helps me function. Like, I'm not saying it makes me perfect, but I can finally hold conversations, complete tasks, and not spiral over literally everything. It's been a game changer. Enter my boyfriend, Kyle, 28 male. We've been together for a little over a year. He's always been super chill about mental health. Like, too chill. You know those people who say things like, ADHD is just being lazy with extra steps? Yeah, that kind of vibe. I always brush it off because he'd say it jokingly, but now I think he meant it. Anyway, a few months ago, I started feeling off. Like I was foggy all the time, couldn't focus, forgot things constantly, my anxiety spiked. I genuinely thought something was wrong with my brain. At one point, I cried in the shower because I couldn't remember if I'd already shampooed my hair. That's how bad it got. I called my doctor thinking maybe my dosage needed to be adjusted, but when they ran a urine panel for refills, they said something weird. There was no trace of amphetamines in my system, not even a little. I was like, wait, what? I take my meds religiously every morning, and then it hit me. I keep my pill organizer in the kitchen drawer next to the vitamins. Kyle's the one who usually sets it out for me because I forget. He's always like, here babe, take your brain pills, with a smirk. So that night, I pretended to go to sleep, then went back into the kitchen and opened up one of the capsules. It was sugar. Straight up sugar. I checked 3 more. Same thing. I felt my entire body go cold. When I confronted him, at first he laughed. Literally laughed in my face and said, wow, you really couldn't tell? That just proves you don't need it. I was stunned. He admitted that he'd been replacing my Adderall with crushed up sweetener packets for almost 2 months to prove a point about me being too dependent on pills. I flipped. I packed a bag and left that night. I stayed at my friend's place while I figured out what to do. I reported the situation to my doctor and I had to get a whole new prescription lockbox. But here's the kicker. Kyle's been blowing up my phone ever since, saying I'm overreacting and that I should be grateful he helped me wean off a crutch. He genuinely doesn't see how invasive, manipulative, and dangerous that was. So now I'm sitting here wondering, was I too harsh for walking out and blocking him? Like, he didn't technically hurt me physically, and maybe he thought he was helping? But at the same time, who messes with someone's medication like that?